Hey everybody, welcome back to Susan Lynn Psychic Medium. It's great to see you again. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're a returning viewer and or subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and checking out my videos. You guys are really amazing, to be honest with you. You always leave the best comments, the most thoughtful comments. You guys are the best. That's just it. I have the best community here, in my opinion. So listen, we want to talk about a few things today. Now, I am a psychic and I am a medium, and I do get information from my guides as I'm speaking to you. So they will come in and give me the information that I'm going to be talking to you about. I do tarot cards, but I don't really do them, if you know what I mean. It's not my thing, it's just not my thing. So I've tried a lot of different things, but this is just what I do. This is who I am. So we want to talk about a couple of things. We want to talk about Matt Gaetz. If you'll notice in my community post, I put that he had been bugging me. I think it was 2 videos ago. He just was on my mind, bugging me. I couldn't figure out why, other than he was going to suffer some unpleasantries, shall we say. I was talking about a lot of other people, and I just didn't pay attention to him. So here he is in the news, and he's experiencing some unpleasantries, I would say. So if you don't know too much about Mr. Gaetz, he does have a son that he adopted. I'm not even sure that he officially adopted this son, but I believe this young man was about 12 when he came to live with Mr. Gaetz. Now, this young man's name is Nestor. He is now a full-blown adult, and he still calls him his son. So, you might imagine that the gay community and every other community has made much to do about this son that lives with him. Okay. It's just very unusual. Matt Gaetz is not married. What is this? What is this? What does this mean? Right. And then you have this new brouhaha about him, traveling with an underage minor girl. The allegations are that he had sexual relations with this underage minor girl. So we will see what happens with these allegations. But I can tell you this, that for whatever reason, he is being, oh boy, they took the word. He is being scapegoated. They are scapegoating him. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do these things, because I believe he did do these things. I think he's done a lot more things than we even know about, right? But for some reason, they threw him under the bus. Now, there's some things going on here behind the scenes, right? Maybe he was thrown under the bus by the former guy. Maybe he, this allegation actually was lodged when Bill Barr was still the DA. So this allegation has been out there for a while, right? And Bill Barr didn't squash it like he did so many other things, right? Oh, we just won't look at those things, you never saw that. But here he let Matt Gaetz just kind of squiggle, like the visual they're showing me is like a worm on a hook, just squiggling, like he's caught. He can't go anywhere. He's hooked. And now someone's going to come along and eat him. So, but here's the thing about Matt. He is definitely going to step down. He's already talking about not running again, so he might make a deal with the Republican Party to, they're telling me, they're telling me the Republican Party needs him to step down, because if he steps down, they feel like they'd have a better chance of getting another Republican in there than if he waits till his election is coming up, and then he was going to have a fight, right? He's going to have a Democrat that's going to fight. So what they're telling me is the Republicans want him to step down because they want to put someone else in his place. Now, I'm not familiar with the rules or laws in that state. I don't know if a special runoff would be needed, but I'll tell you this, special runoffs, Republicans win the vast majority of special runoffs, with the exception, of course, of the 2 Georgia senators that just won. But if you look across the board, Republicans win. That's a strong point for them. So they may be ready to take their chances in a runoff. It doesn't make any sense because that person would only be in office until Matt Gaetz, until his last, until his election came forward. So there's something going on there. All I'm going to tell you guys is there's behind the scenes things going on. And honestly, they are throwing him under the bus for some reason. One thing that I got, one line of energy that I followed said that they are using him as an example, right? Because what's happening is the net. Remember when the guides were talking about the net and they showed the net and all the Republicans were cheek by jowl by butt. They were all like, topsy-turvy in this net, and the net kept closing in. Well, the net is closing in, you guys. It's closing in on the former guy. It's closing in on Rudy Giuliani and Roger Stone and all of these people, all of them, including Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jim Jordan and, all of these terrible people, right? They're all getting squeezed. You want to know why? Because now we have Oath Keepers and we have Proud Boys and we have various other, did you guys know that Trump had put basically a gag order on people that worked in the government, that they couldn't come out and say anything against him? and it was like a do not compete contract in the sense that, you can't say anything because I'm a famous person. You can't say anything about me kind of thing. Right. But it's basically a gag order. So the judge just threw that out. It's not enforceable. So all those people that were, basically keeping their mouth shut because they were afraid of, the former guy's formidable legal, prowess with just attacking people legally. Now they are free and clear to sing like canaries. So all these people are going to start coming forth and talking and giving affidavits, giving statements. And guess what? They're showing me a lot of those people screenshot things. They use their phone and screenshotted things. They CYA'd all over the place. They CYA'd, cover your butt, basically. And so they have evidence. Okay. They have evidence. Not only are there whistleblowers, but they have evidence. So as all this comes together and you can feel the pressure, right? I mean, I can feel the pressure on these people. And Jim Jordan just popped into my mind because of course he's friends with Matt. But as this happens, they're going to start thinking about their own butts, their own culpability, their own maybe exit plan, right? Like maybe I need to go ahead and call the FBI or the CIA and I need to maybe flip, because I can get myself a deal. And in the end, it's every person for themselves, right? It's every person for themselves. We already know that. So as these people start talking or thinking about flipping, okay, so what happened? Whatever this power group is, whether it's the Russians or the former guy or the mafia or all the above, that's why Matt Gaetz got thrown under the bus. Like, you thinking about flipping? Oh, you thinking about talking to the CIA? Okay. Oh, watch this. Watch this. We'll give you a little taste of what that's going to look like. Would you like to go to prison? We'll send you to prison before you send us to prison, right? We're going to put you in prison before you flip on us, right? So this is a message. This is a message. Everybody better toe the line. Everybody better toe the line because we're going to start, we've got dirt on all of you and we will make sure that it's actionable, and so think again, right? So to me, this feels like this man has been the sacrificial lamb. Of course, he's, I believe that he's guilty. I believe that he is not a great congressperson. I don't believe he's a good elected official, so I think he needs to go. He needs to go. And I'm happy. I don't care. Sacrificial lamb, a whole bunch more of them. I don't care. I don't care how they get out, as long as they get out. I don't care if the mafia is behind it or Merrick Garland. Somebody needs to get them out. So, and then meanwhile, AOC is over there just taking people out right and left, So, so I wanted to mention this because this is what they told me just before I got on this video. They said, have you ever wondered why so many of these Republicans, and I'm thinking about, Jim, his name just went out of and I've said it 3 times, but when I'm connected to them, it's like, nope, that name is not in our file. Oh my God. Anyway, if you wonder why some of these people get elected, like how did he get elected? This guy, Jim, whatever his name is, went from, he basically was accused of, aiding and abetting, maybe, some sexual misconduct. And yet here he is. Here he is. A guy that won his election. Why is this possible? How did this happen? How did all these Republicans that all have the same, look at them. Look at the former guy. Look at all these people. They all have the same kind of MO, right? Which is sexual assault, sexual misconduct, that kind of thing. So the guide showed me that this is so mind-blowing. When they showed me this, I had to just sit with my mouth. I was like, what? But they showed me they got picked because, listen to me, because they had these predilections. They got picked. So they go around and they say, oh, you got a thing with young people? Okay, we can put you in office. And you know what? Because you're in office, you're going to be protected. We're going to protect you. They won't be able to touch you. We'll put you in an untouchable seat. We're going to protect you. But guess what? You have to do what we want. You're ours. We tell you where to vote, how to vote, when to vote, how many times to vote. And then everything else we'll take care of. That's what they told me. They literally looked for these people that were cretins. Specifically because then they would have control over them. And then, of course, what these idiots don't know is no one is expendable. Everyone is you're not needed. You're disposable. So they don't think they are, but they are. So the minute that they're not, really, maybe they're found out or maybe they're not, don't have the support. Well, guess what? Then we're going to pull that card out of your file and we're going to run it over to the authorities and have you arrested. It's nuts. These people are crazy, But that's why you see all this line of all of these people that have this same, predilection to this certain time of criminal activity. Crazy, right? So this would be a good time for me to say this video is for entertainment purposes only because we know that YouTube likes to hear that. So we're going to say that to them. So I was going to talk to you about, okay. All right, guys. All right. I need to talk to you about Derek Chauvin, however you say his name. Okay. Obviously, we know he's guilty and we know that he's not really human. He's some other life form. I'm not even sure life form is a good descriptor of what he is. But anyway, he should be prosecuted. He should serve time. He should go to jail. He should go to prison. He should go to a maximum security prison. And I think he will. However, there's a caveat here. There's going to be some kind of surprise about a technicality. There's going to be some kind of technicality, a loophole, right? I mean, every time they know how to use the loopholes and we don't. And we're like, oh, there's a loophole there? Meanwhile, they're driving a semi truck through it, And we're like, oh, there was a loophole. Yeah. The one where the freight train just drove through. God, it just drives you crazy, right? So anyway, they're telling me a technicality. So I'm hoping that the technicality is that it is my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my understanding that the worst charge he could get, I think, is murder 2 or something. And it has a sentencing of 12 years. So people were saying the worst he could get was 12 years, which is, it's better than nothing, right? But it's not, I don't think it's what people are going to want to hear. I think people want life, or maybe they want something else. Maybe they want the death penalty. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure people want life in prison. I don't think people want this man to get out anytime soon. So that's going to be a problem, I think, for people. I'm not sure if that's so what they're showing me is, in some ways, justice isn't 100% done, right? So either there's some technicality and he has to have a second trial, or he does get charged, he does get sentenced, he just does get found guilty, but his sentence is only 8 years or something. That's just gonna make people mad. It's gonna make me mad. I mean, I think the difference with me is that I don't expect as much as I used to, right? So I've gotten very jaded about justice in general, but he's going to do time. He's not going to walk away scot-free, but there is going to be some hinky towards the end. Like I said, some kind of weird, like he almost gets off, or it's a technicality, or he doesn't do enough time. It's something like that. It doesn't give us the slam dunk justice feeling that we really want to have. But it is better than nothing. I'm not saying the man walks free. He doesn't walk free. He does not walk free, but something happens. Just be prepared for some kind of little surprise, because forewarned is forearmed, and then you're not going to be too shocked about it when you hear about it. Let me go back and talk about some previous videos. I talked about the weather, warned you guys about the tornadoes. I'm so sorry. We've had some terrible tornadoes. We've had Nashville is experiencing flooding right now. I don't know if Mississippi is experiencing flooding, but I see Mississippi experiencing flooding. So, I see more weather coming. I'm sorry to say, but again, I just try to warn you guys. The weather that I saw coming came, right? So all we can do in situations like this is prepare the best we can and be alert. The reason I'm telling you is just to be alert. Be more alert. Don't let your guard down, right? If you have a weather radio, or you can use your phone and put notifications on your phone, so that maybe you'll wake up if there's some kind of warning. So that would be prudent. I think it would be smart of us to do that. I see the weather going through the end of May. There's some things that happen in June. So basically, what is it now? April 1st. So it's 3 more months of weather. And then we start getting into hurricanes and whatnot. I still see something happening in California as far as an earthquake goes. I've been seeing this cliff. I'm in Texas, y'all. So a cliff, it might not be a cliff to you, but it might be to me. But it looks like a cliff, and then it looks like a road. Like maybe that's 101. I don't know. And I see that kind of becoming unstable. That part next to the road. I see more fires in where is that? Northern California. Where is Yakima? The Yakima Valley, or Yakima, is that in Oregon maybe? Or Eugene? Is that near Eugene? Anyway, I'm sensing some kind of fire or some kind of thing, kind of weather issue. It could be something else. No, I feel like it's a fire. I don't feel like it's a big fire. I don't feel like it's, super devastating, but I think it's surprising. I feel like it's surprising. Like people are like, whoa, that doesn't usually happen here, or something like that. Just really surprising energy around that. I see busy hurricane season this year. I'm sorry to say, I see something else hitting around New York. I don't think it'll be as bad as Sandy, but I think it will be something that comes along the Carolinas and then goes up to, it skips over Virginia, it feels like, and then it goes over DC. It goes, and then it kind of hits New York up to New York and then kind of angled into Nova Scotia is what I see. Again, I don't think it's as bad as Sandy, but I do think we will react pretty strongly because we all still, are reacting about Sandy, right? I mean, that just triggers certain fears with you. And then also, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I have seen a hurricane hitting the middle of the Keys, the Florida Keys, around Marathon. And then also maybe up Marathon. And then if I go up the coast, I flip over to the Atlantic. Yeah, ooh, that thing, I don't like that one hurricane that kind of goes up towards North Carolina. I don't like that thing. I don't like it at all. So, and then go back into the Gulf. I think the Gulf is going to have some hits. I think that potentially, I feel like Texas is going to get another close call, if not a hit. It could be a 3. I'm feeling like a category 3. Again, they're telling me Alicia, this was a hurricane that hit in 1983, I think. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. So anyway, just so that if that means anything to you, it'd give you an idea of what they're talking about. What else are they talking about? Anything else? Weird weather. Like I see these lightning storms in Oklahoma. I mean, weird weather, lightning storms. Like it looks deserty or like plains, like, and there's lightning, like lots, it's called a lightning storm. I don't know, you guys. I'm just sharing with you what they're telling me right now. Some flooding, expect some river flooding all the way from like the Mississippi all the way up into like the headwaters or Minnesota or whatever that area is up there, all the way down to Mississippi, to the Ohio, all the way. Just if you live near a big river, expect some potential flooding. That's what I have to say to you about that. That's going to happen. Weird weather, guys. I mean, just weird, not normal weather. Look, Texas, we had 12 degrees in Houston or something like that. It was that's record breaking times 100. So weird weather, expect weird weather. Be prepared, right? So it doesn't take anything extra to throw a granola bar or throw, maybe now's the time to get one of those phone chargers, those extra battery banks, you know what I mean? Just in case you're somewhere and you get stuck because there's something going on and, you know what I mean? You just, whatever, carry little things like that might be helpful. Throw water in your car if you don't live in the desert where it's going to boil, but, just think about things, be intentional and think, for where I live, maybe I might need this, maybe I might need that, and throw that in your car, in your bag or something, okay? Forewarned is forearmed. It could make a big difference for you, to be honest with you. I would say, I feel like gasoline is going to go up. And I can't even tell you why, because I think it makes me mad when I think about it. I start thinking about OPEC and I start thinking about how all of it's manipulated, right? And then it starts making me mad. And they also want to manipulate it because of Biden. That's what they're doing. They're manipulating it because they want to send Biden a message about his Green New Deal, right? They want to send him a message that this is not acceptable. We're going to hurt you, right? We're going to, we'll show you, we'll do something to send you a message, right? And you'll need to back off, which Biden isn't going to back off. I'm going to tell you guys right now, he's not going to back off. He's not going to back down. He's doing what he's doing. He's very focused and he's going to stay focused. He's not going to be, he didn't waver when Putin challenged him to a debate. He hasn't wavered when the former guy gives now his speeches at weddings that he crashes in his own hotel. I mean, it's just like, if that's not relegated to the dustbin of has-beens, what is? The man has to, that's the only media, ever so often he appears on Fox, but he's relegated to nothing, you guys, nothing. I will say again that the guides had warned me about the 4th of July. Please be careful around the 4th of July. There's something they're planning around the 4th of July. please just be careful, right? Maybe avoid big things, big groups, whatever. And then also, I need to do a whole nother video about C19, if you know what I'm talking about, in the pandemic, because these Republicans aren't getting vaccinated, and then within the Republic, or it doesn't matter, whatever group of people you have, whether they're whoever they are, if they don't get vaccinated, the darn virus is going to stay in that group, and it's continue mutating. It's going to continue mutating, right? And then that group that's not vaccinated is going to cause us that got vaccinated to get booster vaccinations, because they'll have to create new, kind of iterations of the vaccine to inoculate us from these new, deviants. And the only reason there's going to be all these new kind of deviants and these new versions, strains, is because these people won't get vaccinated. So they're just going to be like a pool of virus, mutation. I mean, that it's a continuing of this attitude of F you. Right? That's what they say to the whole world. F you. We don't care about you, and I don't know what's going to happen, but, I do know, sorry. I'm psychic. Imagine that. What they're showing me is what I said. I don't know what's going to happen. They're like, oh, we'll show you. Oh, thanks. It's crazy living in this body, in this head. So what they showed me was pressure, peer pressure. Biden is going to put a lot of peer pressure on these people. I don't think it's going to work wholly, but I do think it's going to change that let's say, of the group of that people, I think 25% easily will peel off and get vaccinations, because they're going to have the vaccination to do certain things. Like, honestly, businesses can make their own mind up. I mean, the government doesn't have to tell them anything. And if you're going to your dentist, I promise you, in 3 or 4 months, your dentist is going to require you to have been vaccinated. Right? This is a business. They're saying, I'm not going to get at risk for your silly self. Right? Your doctor's going to require it. So it's going to be, the people all around them that's going to make them become vaccinated. And then, of course, if they want to travel anywhere, you'll have to be vaccinated. I mean, so I think it's the peer pressure that's going to bear down on this group. But unfortunately, that peer pressure really isn't going to come to fore for another 3 months to maybe even 5 or 6 months. And by that time, these idiots are going to be basically a petri dish of virus stew, just mutating virus stew, They should be lepers. They should be lepers. We should put them on an island somewhere. If you want to do this, well, here's this island. I'll move out of Texas. Y'all come on down here. It's a big place. You'll be fine. So I don't know. That's what's happening with the virus. I'm vaccinated. I hope you're vaccinated. I hope you get vaccinated soon. And, I know that certain cities like LA and California are still having hotspots. They're just, having a hard time getting enough vaccinations out, but we're going to do this. Biden is going to do this. If he has to bring the military in and create these, I just heard the word supersede. So I think supersede, California would be fine with that, right? I mean, you couldn't do that in Texas, but California would be like, come on in, doors open. So supersede the county and the state and do those vaccines for them to help them ramp up the amount of vaccines that they can actually get out. So that's what I see happening. I do see, it should be a lesson for us, right? When I look at the United States and I see that some states are far ahead in their vaccinations, some states are far below in their vaccinations. So it's going to be an uneven patchwork quilt of places where you can go, right? Places where, like for instance, you don't want to go to LA because it's a hot mess right now. Certain cities, certain states are going to be just hot messes, and you're not going to want to go there. And then that's going to hurt them. That's going to hurt their economy. They're just talking to me just now about the boycott. of Georgia. I want to talk about that really briefly. The boycott of Georgia. Maybe I'll have to timestamp this so you can look and go to the place that you like the best in this video. Well, it worked. It didn't take long, right? Delta made a major. I feel like they did a roundabout, and I think Coke did a roundabout. But people are still continuing to call for those places to be boycotted, those companies to be boycotted, and I think that we're finding out that as consumers we have a whole lot of power. And we're a little bit heady with that. We're a little bit like, okay, let us be the justice then. If the court isn't going to come through, if Congress isn't going to come through, if the Senate's not going to come through, then you know what? Our dollars are going to come through. We're going to make our dollars speak loud and clear, right? And that's what's happening. So I do think it does work. I am concerned, honestly, about the people that work in that state because it's not their fault. It's not their fault that they work for a company that maybe isn't as socially enlightened as they should be. They are trying to pay their bills. They're trying to put food on their table. So these workers are caught in a crossfire, right? They're the ones that pay the price, to be honest with you. I know we need to put pressure on these companies, but I want everybody to understand it comes with a cost. It comes with a price. It comes with a face. It comes with a little boy or a little girl who doesn't have food. Right. So there's cost here, right? We have to weigh everything. And I feel like if we've put the pressure on Delta and we put the pressure on, the name just escaped me again. I just said it a minute ago, but these people are not with me all the time. Okay. If we put the pressure on Georgia in general, then and they start changing their tune, then we should be able to back off. We should be able to stop doing that boycott. I guess what I'm trying to say is we're getting heady. We're getting a little bit like going for the blood because we want to really make these companies pay. And I get it, but you're also making these kids pay. You're also making these people that are trying to pay their bills pay. If they have to lay off a bunch of people, then we've destabilized the economy even further, right, than it was. So I fully get both sides. I fully get it, but we do need to be cognizant of that, I think. And as soon as the company changes their ways, then I think we need to go back to buying their products if this was something you bought in the past. So that's just what I think. That's what I'm getting from my guides. They want us to use balance. They're showing me scales and balance. So don't go too far one direction. Try to be balanced in things. And I think that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, you found it entertaining or informative, or if you just want to hang out with me, thank you so much. Please hit the like button, thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. That would be awesome. Did I mention that it's free? Doesn't cost anything. And you can make your subscription list private. So not anybody can ever see what you subscribe to if that is something that's holding you back. All subscribing does is put me in your little queue when I have a video. That's all it does. You can see, oh, Susan has a video. And then you can decide at that point whether you want to watch it or not. But if I don't appear in your little queue, you might miss out on something good, right? I mean, I do have the confetti cannons that are going to go off. You don't want to miss that, right? So you want to be able to be subscribed and you want to hit the notification bell and get those notifications so that we can all be ready to celebrate when Mitch McConnell, there's so many things to celebrate, when Mitch McConnell and the former guy are in handcuffs. Oh, Lindsey Graham, did I mention him? And Roger Stone and Rudy Giuliani and Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and who is Jim Jeffords? Is his name Jim Jeffords? Who is that? Am I mixing two names together? Anyway, see what fun you could be missing out on? Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Everybody, you guys take care. And by the way, I am on live. I'm going to be coming on live tonight on Allie's channel, which is Heart and Soul Connected. Heart and Soul Connected. We do live videos where I answer your questions, and I also I do some mediumship readings for you, so I might be able to connect you to your crossed over loved ones and that kind of thing. It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys join us. You can look at her channel. I believe it's going to be 6 p.m. Central. So in about another hour or so, or who knows when I'll get this video. This video might go in after that. Who knows? If it does, you can watch the video at her channel, and we'll post it up later. Thanks, guys. Y'all take care.